Hello everybody, my name is Botvinnik and today I will speak about another interesting game of Mikhail Tal, and today I will speak about game Mikhail Tal and Janos Flash 1981. Of course, it's a difficult job to find the best game of Mikhail Tal. It's not such a difficult job to find interesting chess game of Mikhail Tal, and I hope you will agree that this game is interesting. Why? For example, here at this position, Black's threat is to play knight to b4 and stop White's move to d3 by his queen. Of course, another threat is to take on b2 pawn. Okay, what do you think? Is a good idea to play White's queen to d3? Of course, Black is looking for this move and his answer will be knight to b4. Let's play this move because Mikhail Tal played to d3, knight to b4, and now, of course, Mikhail Tal went to d2. It's a good idea for Black to take on c2 bishop. Of course, White has two bishops advantage, and with every new exchange, the chance that White will start attack is going down. So Black took on c2 and he's going to attack White's rook on a1. Mikhail Tal doesn't care about his rook on a1. He cares a lot about Black's king, and he is going to take knight on f6. So he believes that Black weaknesses around Black's king will be more important than material. And of course, if you know another games of Mikhail Tal, you will agree with me that really often Mikhail Tal was right. So what's happened? Black took on a1 and knight to h5. So yes, if Black will take on f6, in next two moves he's losing because of checkmate threats on h6 and g7. But now stop for a while this position and let's come back for the beginning, and start the game from move e4. Black played Caro-Kann. Caro-Kann defense is a really solid opening with solid position, and maybe is the right choose against Mikhail Tal, because you know it's really important to stop White's dream how to attack Black's king, and Caro-Kann should be a good opening against Mikhail Tal. Nothing special, you know, main opening theory. Here I will tell you that Black's advantage is that he doesn't have weaknesses. His pawn formation is solid without any huge weakness. So for White should be a difficult job to start attack against Black's weakness because Black doesn't have weaknesses. So White at first need to make Black position weak. Okay, so White took on d4, and maybe in endgame is good to remember this position because White has pawn advantage on the left side of the wing, because there he has a 3 pawns against 2, so it should be a good plan for endgame. And the same stories belong to Black, because Black has pawn advantage 4 against 3 on the right side of the chessboard. So at least we know what to play in endgame. But Mikhail Tal is not interesting about endgame. He is interesting to win this game by a checkmate. This position is interesting. Two White bishops are looking directly to Black's position on h7, h6. So if Black is going for short castle, these two bishops are looking directly to Black's king's position. So believe me that Mikhail Tal is happy to have these two bishops. Yes, as we saw, Black took on d4, and from now White has two bishops advantage, two strong bishops advantage, and Black is going for short castle. This is a really good topic or good position for Mikhail Tal. Yes, right. Black castles right on a short position. Now, how to start attack? It's important to build weaknesses. It's important to make weaknesses around black's king position. How to do it? Okay, let's play bishop to g5. Maybe black will play h6. And he played h6. Of course, this is not a losing mistake, but this is a small weakness around black's king. It should be a weakness if you know how to play against pawn moves h6. Nothing special. White is playing bishop to f4, and maybe he will play one day queen to d2 and he will take on h6. So that's the why I'm speaking about weakness on h6. Knight to b6 and bishop to c2. Simple move. White should go to d3, buy his queen, and maybe, he will checkmate black on h7. At least this move looks dangerous. Okay, knight to d5, black is going to attack a bishop on f4. It's a good idea to go forward, so bishop to e5, and one more time. White's two bishops are looking directly to black's king's position. That's a signal that white will start his attack soon. How to play? Black is playing by his queen to b6, and of course he's attacking on b2 pawn. That's a threat, and he's going to stop white's move queen to d3 because of move knight to b4. It makes sense that if white will play queen to d3 and he played, black will play knight to b4 and he will take one of these bishops. So he will take on c2. Makes sense to take one bishop if white has two bishops advantage, right? But no, this move should be mistake because black is playing without three pieces. Bishop on c8 is a bad piece. And knight on d5 was the best black's piece, and we have to improve our worst pieces, and it's not a good idea to play with our best pieces, and that's the biggest mistake of what maybe black did here. Knight to b4. Okay, Mikhail Tal went to d2, and of course makes sense that black will take on c2. He took on c2, and because white's rook on a1 is under attack, makes sense to take this knight on c2, right? But not for Mikhail Tal. Rook on a1 is not an important piece for white. Of course, this is a bad rook. Why to save this rook? And what's more important is that white will attack black's king and he will make weaknesses. As I told you, Caro-Kann is a really solid defense and it's important to make weaknesses. So white will take on f6 and he doesn't care about rook on a1. He's going to destroy black's pawn formation against black's king. Then white will find a target how to attack black's king. Okay, white doesn't care about this rook. This rook is not important here. It's important this bishop. So white has to save this bishop. How to do it? Knight to h5. Wow, another chess nice move. And for this reason I'm speaking about a really interesting chess game, Tal Flash. Okay, of course, if black will take this bishop, Mikhail Tal will take on h6 and next move is checkmate on g7. So black will not touch this bishop and he played move e5. Yes, of course, maybe black believe in defense. But thank you very much for the pawn. What's the change? Yes, of course, change is move g5. Why to go back? Then Mikhail Tal is going forward and he's playing move e6. Okay, what to play? Yes, of course, black should take by a queen or by a bishop. So let's check this position. And now I will tell you where is the biggest black weakness. The biggest black weaknesses are these dark squares. And because black doesn't have dark squares bishop, he doesn't have defender of these weaknesses. So at the end, don't be surprised that checkmate will be somewhere on dark squares. Okay, what's happened if black will take on e6 by his bishop? Okay, maybe white will take on g5. It's very hard to take here because it's checkmate in the next move. So, okay, thank you very much for a pawn. And knight to f6. And for example, bishop to h4. Big threat on h6. Because black has weaknesses over dark squares. Maybe this move is okay. No, there is another threat on h7. And it's funny that white is not hurried to take this knight on a1. This piece is not now important piece. Okay, maybe here and maybe another black's dark square weaknesses. And I believe that this position is difficult for black. You know, this piece is a weak piece, and maybe the plan is to go to e1, e3, f3, g3, h3, and I believe that black's position is shaking. Maybe it's lost if you are playing against Mikhail Tal. So maybe for this reason black took this pawn on e6 by a queen. Okay, why not? h3. Wow, why is playing move h3? Because he's going to play move g4. And it's happened. Now move white took on a1 and soon is playing move g4. So how to see this position? Yes, black has more material. Absolutely. If we are watching on material, black is winning. But check white's pieces and black pieces, and I believe that white has strong pieces and they are sitting on the right squares. There is a hard job to find a worst white's piece. So at least white has a compensation in activity. Okay, rook to c8 and bishop to c3. Now is starting the main plan of Mikhail Tal. What he saw? He saw this dark square weaknesses, and of course this is the biggest black's problem. Of course, now to play move e6 is losing piece immediately. So he played to d8. Okay, so white will not go to d4, but he will go to e3 and e5, and still he will go to black's kings over dark square weaknesses. So it's happened to e3 and to e5. Yes, it's the right time to change the plan. And if nothing happens, black is losing immediately. So yes, black took on c3. So from now, I think white is okay. At least we have the same amount of material. Plus, still black has dark square weaknesses. So that's a small victory for Mikhail Tal, and at the end it will be a big victory. Okay, it's happened to h7. Check on f6. Maybe the right move is to go to h8. And this is the last hope, and this is the best move. Maybe f4, knight to h5, and white should take on f4. But you know, still this is a difficult position. Maybe still lost for black. What's happened? Black went to g7, and this position is a really simple job for white. Check on d5 and knight on e7. So one threat is to take queen. Another threat is to win this rook by a check and take this piece. So black resign. What to say? Well done to Mikhail Tal, because he played another really interesting chess game where we saw that from nothing he built a strong attack, and he showed his big fantasy. He showed his big energy and still big power, that he loved to attack his opponent's king, and he managed. He did. He won, and he was one of the best chess players of all times. So I hope you agree. I hope you enjoyed. So feel free and press like or follow. And I will see you soon. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you saw a really good game. And see you soon. Bye bye.